Okay. So about you, first things first, you are a projector. Projectors are about 10 to 11% worldwide, and they are here to guide. They are here to guide people towards something. You're not here to do the hard work. You're here to guide others on how to do their work. You might be good in management, you might be good in positions where you have to guide others.
Okay.
Your signature, your state of well-being, the way you know you are on your right path is success. And it will mostly show up as people successful around you. So because you are here to guide, if you are able to guide somebody to their success, you are successful as well. And you are most likely going to get paid through this. Getting somebody else to get something successful, whether it is relationship, whether it is financial, whether it is whatever it is, when they get successful, they will pay you and they will feel successful too.
Okay.
You are not here to do the hard work because you have an open sacral. This is the sacral right here. And that means you don't have life-sustaining energy. That also means that you have your energy, because your root is active, your energy comes in bursts, and it comes mostly when you are grounded. If you spend time by yourself, if you spend time in nature, if you spend time filling your own cup, your energy will pop up in bursts, and then you will feel pretty much tired.
Yeah.
It's very important to remember that you don't have to overdo it. Most projectors overdo it because the not self theme of the open sacral is not knowing when enough is enough. There's many projectors who are actually workaholics.
Yeah, when I commit myself to something, I overdo it 100%.
Yeah, that's the drive. And you should practice delegating. You are amazing at delegating.
Oh yeah.
Now
That makes sense.
you have only one channel defined in your chart. It's 2838. And I always make fun of this channel. It's the channel of struggle.
Oh, great.
I actually have a reel made on my page. God, when I said I like it rough, I did not mean my whole life.
Yeah, gotcha.
That's how it feels like for the channel 2838. It feels like their whole life is an uphill battle.
Mm-hmm.
It might feel like sometimes you are pushing stuff uphill that you don't want to push.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a very empowering channel because it's part of the individual circuitry. So exactly like you said, when you commit yourself to something, you are ready to fight till the end of the world for that something. That's this channel. It's Greta Thunberg, okay? She saw a problem in the environment and ready to take on the biggest politicians, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Ready to take on, ready to fight for it. That's the feel of the 2838. She has it, by the way. I checked her chart. So this is the most defining energy that you have. This is your drive. This is your energy. You are also have the only other center that you have defined is the spleen, which means you have a quite good immune system.
Oh, a brilliant immune system. I never get sick. Never.
Be careful with that, because the problem with the defined spleen is that they never get sick until they get very sick.
Yeah, well, I make a joke of it actually with people. I always say, if I say I'm ill, I'm not ill, I'm just hungover because I'm never sick. But if I do get sick, I get severely sick. So I don't catch colds and sick bugs, but I had one first sick bug I've had for over 10 years a couple of months ago. Oh my God, I was so ill.
Yeah, that's what usually happens for the defined spleen. They don't feel a runny nose and the minor inconvenience. When it hits them straight to 39 degrees and being completely knocked out.
Yes, that's true. That's very true.
This is your most defining energy in your chart. Now I'm going to go through your profile because your profile is also very specific. You are a 6-2. This comes from here. If you look, it's this 2. Now, I hate when it does that. These two numbers up here, after the point, they both have 6. And these two numbers over here, after the gate number, they both have 2.
Okay.
That's the profile, 6-2. Now the 6th line moves through 3 phases in life. It's the only line that mutates, changes through life. The first 30 years of your life till Saturn returns to the same position it was at your birth time would be a trial and error, bonds made to be broken, anarchist. Yeah, it will be a very chaotic period. You might have stepped in and out of many relationships, stepped in and out of jobs, stepped in and out of things.
Yeah, true.
And you might have also been perceived by others as rebellious.
Yeah.
And the next 20 years from the Saturn return to the Chiron return when you're around 50. Obviously, these are approximates because I don't know retrogrades and anything, but these are approximately there, plus minus 1 or 2 years. So it might be 28, 32, or it might be 48, 52. Somewhere around there, it's going to be the change. Between 30 and 50, you'll be on the roof. And if you can imagine being on the roof of a building, you can see that everything from the roof looks small. Everything from the roof looks less impactful, like it can't reach you. And everything from the roof, you can see the bigger picture.
Right, yeah.
And this time is the time to learn from your past mistakes. From the first 30 years of that trial and error, you're pretty much like a cat on the roof, licking its own wounds and getting better and better.
Yeah, I honestly, from being 30 to 31, I've changed so much. Last year, I changed so much.
Yes. People who have the 6th line, I know many, actually sometimes describe that they have 3 lives. I know many who are over 50 and they describe it as having 3 completely different lives.
Yeah.
Now, the only problem is the other side, the 2nd line. The 2nd line is the hermit. And the hermit has many talents. They have a knack for things. They have an inner way of doing things. The hermit doesn't study. The hermit just follows its passion and somehow lands up well, somehow knows how to do stuff, somehow discovers their inner talents in solitude.
Right.
The problem I'm saying is because when you combine the two and you have the 6th line moving on the roof and the 2nd line as the design, what usually happens for most people, and since you are a projector, it might happen even more, is that people go into a slight depression when moving on the roof. Because they suddenly go a bit too deep in the hermit mode, they suddenly close off relationship, they suddenly, pull back inside.
Yeah, that's what I've just done.
And to the world outside, you might seem bitter. They might perceive you as being mean, as being cut off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, yeah.
This is natural. It happens because of your energetic system, and you should know that you can trust it. You can trust it even though people seem to judge you. There's nothing wrong happening with you. You might actually be exploring talents you have during this time. And people who are still close to you will drag you out to show those talents. So I don't know, close friends will come by, see something you're doing and go, oh my God, you're very good at this. You should do this, like for, I don't know who.
Yeah, well, I got told this morning I should, Ash on our chat said, you should sing, because I haven't sing, because I do sing very well. And I sent her a voice note and I was just making a song up and she was like, Amber, you should be a wedding singer. She's like, and they make money. I'm like, I don't want to do it. I just don't.
Yeah, that's exactly what it will happen over and over again. And many other people will recognize your talent for singing, for example, and they will come in with projections of what you should do, be a wedding singer, make your band, I don't know, any other things that you can do. But they will come in with their own projections on your talents until you say yes to something. You have to know that you have to feel it intuitively.
Yeah.
Your authority is the spleen. How you make decisions is purely intuitive.
I've always been like that. I've always just done what I felt I wanted to do, not what I should do, what I felt I should do.
The spleen is the quickest authority. So it would be very easy for you to make a decision, yes or no. But it's also the most difficult because it only says the answer once. It never repeats itself. It's like, you know it in the moment if it's a yes or no, and you can't say, I'll think about it. It's a yes or no.
Yeah, I've always been like that.
And your not self-team as a projector is bitterness. And I will tell you how bitterness shows up for projectors. Bitterness shows up for projectors in the sense that you will guide someone, you will give advice to someone, but you're not recognized. They don't see you as a person able to give them advice. And they will shut you out. They will disregard your advice, and they may end up doing the exact opposite of what you tell them, and they may end up badly, unsuccessful, happen something stupid to them. And you might feel bitter about it and have the drive to say, I told you so.
I've always been like that. I told you. What did I say?
And that's the not self-team of the projector. It means that you didn't wait to be invited to give your advice. When people invite you and ask you specifically, can you give me my opinion on this, your opinion on this, when they recognize you as somebody who can have an insight on that, they will take your advice, they will be successful, you will feel good about it, and it will all run smoothly. But when you give free advice, that's when it's gonna pay out badly for them and for you.
Yeah.
You are single definition, which means single definition means that you don't actually need partnerships. You can work by yourself, you can be by yourself. You don't actually need anyone to be connected to your own intuition, to be connected to your own energy. You're perfectly okay by yourself. But as a projector, projectors are not interested in themselves. Projectors are interested in the other. Actually, when I teach people how to use human design and I have a projector at the course, I tell them, don't look at your own chart. Don't try to learn human design by looking at your own chart. If you want to understand your own chart, go get a reading. But if you want to learn more about human design, get your best friend's chart and try to understand them.
Okay.
Because you won't be able to see patterns in yourself. You are able to see patterns in the other. You are here to guide others.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm gonna go through the big not self themes. You have many because you have only 2 defined centers and everything else is open. I
Okay.
told you the sacral is not knowing when enough is enough and keep on going even when you're tired.
Yeah.
This definitely leads to overwhelm.
You know, with me, Daria, I've always been like this. I always say to people, don't get on the other side of me because I will fight for you till the end of time. But as soon as I switch, you will never, ever, ever get back on the other side. Other people, you might be able to, they forgive you and they'll help let you back in. I will never. Once I feel like I have fought tooth and nail and there's nothing left to fight for, I will be gone. I will cut you out and you will never hear from me again.
Yes, I can totally see that.
That's how I am. And that's how I
Yes.
am with my twin flame at the moment. Like my friend has messaged him and because she knows us both, and she sent him an 8-minute voice note yesterday and she said, you have lost this woman. If you do not do something, you have lost her. And he's messaging her like now. He's trying to, I don't think he's a bit useless when it comes. He's a bit like me. He's got rejection issues and abandonment issues. And I think he struggles with, he doesn't know how to chase, whereas I'm exactly the same. I don't know how to chase somebody, but I feel almost done with him right now. That's how I feel. And so he's talking to her right now because I am literally done. So I'm waiting to hear what he is going to try and do. But I don't feel like I want to revisit anymore. I feel like that switch in my head has switched and I'm just done. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
And I feel guilty for it almost as well. Like I feel, because I know I love him, but I feel guilty because I can't, I don't feel like I can do anymore. I feel like I've done everything I possibly can.
It does. Yes, I will run your composite chart as well. I want to run through you with these not self themes because you will relate to them a lot.
Okay, thank you.
The solar plexus, this is a very hard one to have open, and it's completely open. You have no gates attached to it. If you look at the sacral, you'll see that there's 2 little gates, 27 and 59 attached to it. Every other center, apart from the head and the solar plexus, have some gates attached to them.
Have I got quite a unique human design?
Everybody has a unique human design.
Yeah, I know, but is it quite you said there's only 10% of something. Is it not, is it like one of those, do you know what I mean? Because you're saying these things are open and not many people have them all open.
Having more centers open has both positives and negatives. Having more centers open means that you are more likely to be influenced by the outside. What I try to explain people is what you see colored in is the student.
Okay.
And what you see open is where you go to school.
Okay.
So you have more spaces where you can be influenced from the outside, but at the same time, you have more spaces where you can gain wisdom. All of these
Okay.
places are lessons that you can gain wisdom and then pass it on.
Okay.
Oh, and I just realized that I didn't tell you the last part of the 6th line life. After
Okay.
50, the 6th line is the role model. So the fact that you have so many places of wisdom will play out when you come down off the roof and you are in your role model position. And you will be able to guide people using all this wisdom that you have to learn.
Okay.
Now, the open solar plexus, the theme of the open solar plexus is avoiding truth and conflict. But the problem is that the open solar plexus is the center of emotions. So when you feel emotional, it's not you.
What do you mean?
You're literally an empath. I am one
know.
too.
I know.
I am one too. I have an open solar plexus as well. You are literally an empath and you can feel what other people are feeling. And not only feel it, but you amplify it. So
Yeah.
let's say somebody comes towards you with anger. You will amplify that anger and be even more angrier than them. And it goes back and forth until it leads to distortion.
True. That's very true.
The same happens even with happiness. Somebody comes in with enthusiasm, you are able to hype them up to ecstasy, to super
Yeah.
happiness.
Yeah, I've always said this, I return energy. And like with anger, I say, don't start none and there won't be none. If you don't come at me like that, I won't come at you like that. Yeah, I'm very much like that.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. And the thing is, the button is never on your side. So you are not in control of distorting emotions. If the other person comes in angry, you amplify it, show up even angrier, and they throw a feedback at you, you will amplify even their fit.
Yeah, and then I get blamed.
And I have an open solar plexus as well. And usually we are the ones getting called dramatic. We are the ones getting called emotional. We are the ones getting called over the top, when
Yeah.
actually, when we're alone in our own space, in our own aura, we're cool as a cucumber.
Oh my God, Jess, I'm the calmest human being if I'm not triggered by it. If nobody comes at me with anything and I'm on my own, I'll just chill and relax and be happy.
Exactly. We're cool as a cucumber and nothing can touch us when we're alone, but we pick up their emotions and have no control over it and we get blamed for it. That's why.
And then like my twin flame, I used to know when he was being off because I could feel him and I could read him. And then he'd turn it on me, nothing wrong with me. And I'm like, I can literally feel you. I know. And they turn it around on you, whoever it is, like, no, I'm not. I know you're being funny. I know you are.
Yes. And not only him, mostly everybody will do that around you.
Yeah.
Mom did that around me so much. Mom is emotional, I'm not. And she would turn things around me. And it got to the point where now I know human design. Now I can read the mechanics. Now I know what's happening. And I told her, look, just because you suppress it doesn't mean it's not there. I feel
it. Yeah.
And people can't hide their emotions from us. We read them. The ability of the open solar plexus to read the room, it's sometimes uncomfortable.
Yes.
I used to say
you're overthinking. They say you're overthinking, and I'm like, I'm not. I know. I can feel it.
Yes. I used to say my ability to read the room is the reason I don't go in many rooms.
Yes. That's a good one. I'll start using that.
And this is how the open solar plexus play out. If you already are aware that you are sensing the others, it means you are already using it as a source of wisdom. The best thing not to amplify things and not to distort them is to just notice it.
Yes.
I
and
used
I
to
started
just,
doing that. That's what I started to do. Noticing it and not letting it go. I used to feel like I had to speak on it. And now I just think, no, I'm not. They can come to me.
what I'm doing right now is just notice it and say into my head, oh, that escalated quickly. And then everything kind of, the fire goes down a bit.
Yes. Yes.
So this is a center that you're already using as wisdom. More, I will discuss more of them. The next one, the open heart. This is the open ego. This is the willpower. This is the center that dictates our go-getter attitude. And yours, it's open. So you might not recognize the value in yourself. When other people tell you your own value, like your friend just told you that you'd be good singing at weddings, the open ego always goes, who, me? Nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The open ego also apologizes when they shouldn't.
Oh my God, yes, I do.
These
All
are
the
the people.
time.
Yes, these are the people that would bump into the headlight and say sorry to the headlight.
Yes, people. I'm gonna stop saying sorry. Oh, sorry. I mean, oh, yeah. Okay.
And
That's crazy.
the wisdom of the open solar plexus is to know that you have nothing to prove. You have nothing to prove to anyone. You're fine the way you are. And second is the fact that you are able to see value. You are able to see the real value of things. In an ideal world, the open ego would set the prices.
Yeah.
You can see when a person is of value and when a person is not of value. You
Yes.
can see when a product is of value. You can see beyond the appearance.
Yes, I do. I always look. I always, people say about a person, and I'll go no, because this, that, or the other. I see that in them. Like my friends always say, I'm like I see people as projects. Like I always find something good about them, even if they're not a great person. I'll find something good about them.
Oh, I'm getting there. That's the next one, the G center. Okay, the open G center is the open identity center. This is the identity center, and this is the source of direction and love. The not self theme of the G center is always looking for love and direction.
Yeah.
How it looks like you have a chameleonic personality. It looks like who you are meeting, you can be that. If somebody treats you with an attitude, you'll have the same attitude. If somebody is nice, you'll be nice.
Yeah.
It's sort of a chameleonic personality, but you don't fake it. It's not fake. It's not like you're trying to be like them. It's just how it comes out.
Yes.
And the wisdom of this is exactly what you said. It's recognizing people's identity and being able to give them direction. You're not able to see your own identity. You're not able to see your own direction. And it's fine to not have a clear direction. For you, it's healthy to not have a clear direction and go just with your intuition, yes or no. It's fine to not have 10-year plans. It's fine. But you can sense other people's direction. You can sense their identity. You can tell them, you went the wrong way there. I can see it. I can see where that's going. I can see the end of that road.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
And that will be very uncomfortable for many people.
Mm-hmm.
Because you might be able to see things about them that they don't want to recognize about themselves.
Yeah. You
have an open throat. The open throat, In human design, all channels lead to the throat, like all roads lead to Rome, all channels lead to the throat. The throat is the center of manifesting. Now, the fact that for you it's open, it doesn't mean you can't manifest. It means that you are basically a joker card on how you manifest things. It doesn't work in a pattern for you. You can follow 10 experts who have 10 different practices of the law of attraction and manifesting, and some will work, some will not work, some will work sometimes, others will work other times. It's literally a joker card of how it works for you.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that might show up as consistent is sharing your own truth, because you have gate 43 trying to connect with the throat. You have the 43 trying to connect with the 23 in the throat.
Yeah.
Through creativity, you have gate 1 trying to connect to the throat. Through influence, you have gate 7 trying to connect to the throat. That's influence. And people will tell you secrets.
Yeah.
That's gate 33, missing gate 13. The gate 13 is the gate of the secrets, and the 33 is sort of the secret keeper, making secrets valuable. It's like the best example I can always give is the KFC 11 secret spices.
Yeah.
If we knew the 11 secret spices, they would have absolutely no value because everybody has spices in their counter. But since they are secret, they are valuable. And that's something that you might be able to bring out of people. Secret talents of themselves, secret things of themselves, because they will share them with you.
Yeah. Yeah. People always really connect with me. Always.
Also, the open throat is looking for attention. And all the open throats do great on stage. Most singers have an open throat. Why is that? Because an open throat simply gives you a wider range of the notes.
Yeah.
Most people I've met who told me I like to sing, I look at their chart. So sure enough, they have an open throat. If you think of any big singer like Michael Jackson or any star of anything, they have an open throat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the last two are the ajna and the head. I can even take them a bit together and tell you upfront, you have an open mind.
Mm-hmm.
You have an open mind, you are able to see things from different perspectives.
Yeah.
The problem with that is that you're never certain.
Yes.
For you, nothing is in black and white. Absolutely nothing can be in black and white. Everything is in shades.
Mm-hmm.
And everything is, well, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I can see how that could be like that, but I can see how it can be the opposite as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the not self theme of the ajna is to pretend to be certain, because they are never certain and they notice people around them with such deep conviction that they are right, that at some point the open ajna will pretend that they are just as certain so they don't sound as confused.
Mm-hmm.
But it's perfectly fine to be uncertain. It's actually healthy to be uncertain because it means you are able to see things through different eyes.
Yeah.
Now, the open head goes a bit even further because this will sound weird, but you are able to hear people's thoughts.
Mm.
I have a defined head, and it always freaks me out a bit when I meet a person with an open head. Because I realize I'm impacting them with everything I think, and it's weird.
Yeah, it's like when I'm in a conversation with somebody and I'll tell them something and then they'll be thinking and I go, you think this, don't you? And they're like, yeah, get out of my head. And I'm like, I know, I just know.
Oh yeah, exactly. You might finish people's sentences.
Yeah.
But a funny bad thing that might happen is, for example, you go at the shop with a clear list of what you need in your house, and you get there and you're impacted by all the thoughts of everybody in the shop and what they need to buy, and you end up buying everything else but your list.
I just thought that's because I was impulsive.
No, this happens because you have an open head and you literally hear other people's ideas of what they need to buy, probably even what they need to cook.
Oh my God. That's where it comes from.
And it's funny because this is the center also that's pressure. It's pressure to solve other people's problems. You hear them, you feel them, and it automatically becomes sort of your problem to fix it.
Yes.
Many people with open head are literature writers, different types. So each of those 3 little channels that are there are different types of literature, but all literature comes from an open head. There's 70% of the globe with an open head. So there's plenty of inspiration to go around.
Yeah. So is that why I can write how I feel better than I can say it? Daria? Hello?
Energetics of
you
it.
went then. You went for ages then. I don't know where you went.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You just went off.
Okay, so what I was saying is that this center, as you can see, it's a bit out of the graphic. And that's why most of it is literature. That's why most of it are, because they literally can get inspiration from outside. So they can channel, let's say.
Okay.
They can receive inspiration. I don't know if you saw the TED talk of the lady who wrote Eat, Pray, Love, and who described that the experience to write Eat, Pray, Love came from outside of her body. It came to her. Yeah, that's what most writers describe it. The inspiration to write a book comes from outside and it comes to them. It doesn't come from them.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's one reason why most literature comes from the open head. And the second reason is because of the pressure to solve other people's problems. Many open heads choose to deal with that pressure by escaping the real world. I can't solve everybody's problems, so I'm gonna fuck off this world and I'm gonna focus on my book, I'm gonna focus on my world, I'm gonna focus on my fantasy, I'm gonna get out of this because I can't solve everyone's problems.
Okay.
But as a center of wisdom, you should know that just because you hear their thoughts, they're not your responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the not self themes and these are the wisdoms of them. I'm looking around to see if there's anything big and impactful. Your preferred people are 4th liners and 3rd liners. 3rd liners are adventurers, 3rd liners are anarchists, 3rd liners are the kind of people when they see something wrong, they'll take it down.
Protective.
Not exactly protective. I would say they are more like, because they're not afraid to break bonds. They're not afraid to take down relationships. They are very much in it. If there's a hole in the foundation, we take down the whole house and rebuild it. We don't fix it. We take it down and do it again. And the other kinds of people you'll run well with is the 4th line, which are networkers, people who create networks around them, people who bring groups around them. I am a networker, Jessica is a networker, people who create groups around them. You will find a lot of them in your life because they're simply in your direction. They are in your moon nodes.
Yeah, that's my twin flames like that.
So it's just patterns of people you will always meet over and over again. They are on your direction, on your path.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me add him. You said you don't have.
Not his exact date of birth. No, I know his date of birth, but I don't know his time of birth.
No problem. Because I have a curiosity. I have to tell you this before. The only pattern I noticed so far in the twin flame group, and you might match it actually, is the channel 4426. So out of all the readings I've done in the group, I think
the 4426.
we all have the 4426, and it's always the lady who has the 44 and it's always the man who has the 26. In this case, it would work. You have the 44 and you're missing the 26. If he has the 26, it matches the pattern.
Okay. Come on, don't let us down.
And the only person so far who doesn't have it is actually Ash, but their charts are identical.
Okay.
They literally, their charts look like twins. Like if I didn't have any context when I read that chart, I would say that it's two twins born at 1 hour, a half, 2 hours between each other. So that's an even weirder connection, but everybody else has the same pattern.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just write the opposite, TF Amber. One is Amber TF group, and this one is gonna be the opposite. Okay, year.
Okay, 1992.
992. Month.
First month, January.
January. Day. Whoa.
Yeah. No, one.
What? What does it do? Why doesn't it?
And he's the 6th.
So the day 1.
Yeah, no, he's the 6th of January.
6th of January. All right. And hour you don't know exactly. So let me put a common hour. I'm gonna start with 6 and then I'm gonna move it. Put 620. Country.
Portugal.
Okay. And city doesn't really matter, but if you know around.
Lisbon.
Okay. All right. What the hell? It looks identical with you. Let me run some other charts. I'm moving to 2 and 2 hours because that's about when the changes usually happen. Okay. 10.
Not changing, is it?
Not much, no. 12. 14.
I think we're twins.
Okay. No, not notes, edit. 14, 16. Yeah, okay, a bit of change. Okay, not much though. Edit 18. I think 18 will still be a generator, yes. Edit 20. And then I'm gonna go under. Okay, no, 22 and then under 22. 20. Oh.
222. Oh, there you go. Reunion numbers.
Okay, edit. Now I'm gonna go 0, 0. Okay. Edit 2 and 4 is missing. Yeah. I'm gonna guess it's the profile from the morning. I'm gonna guess you're identical. And I'm gonna pull the companionship chart, connection chart. Okay, 1 and 2. This is how you look like together.
Is it good or bad?
It's weird.
What do you mean?
So besides the fact that your charts are very much identical, very, very similar, this is the second time it shows up similar, so similar. So far, it's literally only you and Ash.
Yeah.
And both of the, what am I saying? All of the channels, you have them together. These two are compromises, but one of each. One of them you're compromised, one of them he's compromised, which means a very balanced relationship. Actually, in Ash's case, she's more dominant than him, but you are completely balanced.
We
There's
definitely
one.
balance each other out. Yeah, we're very yin and yang. We have the same issues and stuff like that, but he's very calm and very spicy.
Yeah, that's the difference. You have the channel of struggle, like I told you, the channel of the fighter, fight for you till the end of the world, very, very driven and very empowering. And he's dominant over the 32 54, which is the channel of transformation, which is a slow land. Imagine the caterpillar.
Just described him. That's how he is. He plans everything and he's so slow and it drives me insane.
Imagine the caterpillar transforming into a butterfly. This is that channel. It's a process, it's a movement. It has to happen in its due time. You can't rush this channel. This is something very constant moving. It's transformative, so it's constant moving, constant growth, but it's in their own time.
Right. I know that.
And you, apart from that, you have almost identical gates. I mean, if I look at the other side of the root, you have the same gates. If I look at the ego, okay, they're both open. They have, but they are the same. They are the same. The ajna, they are the same. It's
He's
the
me
same.
and I'm him. Definitely twinnies.
And you have one electromagnetic connection that might feel the push and pull. That might be the love-hate. That's how it usually is. An electromagnetic connection feels like a love-hate connection. And that's the 6447, which is the pressure to make things make sense from the past. So both of you might be overthinking what you said, what the other said, what happened 10 years ago, if you follow any patterns, familiar patterns, if you know, problems that get you, thoughts that get you into therapy. This is this channel. Trying to make sense of things that happen in the past and probably don't matter in the present, but you'll both be overthinking that. And that would be the push and pull. He would have more questions, you would have more things to discuss because he has the 64, which is the present, the questions, the mind asking questions, trying to solve mysteries from the past. And you would trying to overthink and give complex answers from the past. Yeah, that's the push and pull. And it will feel quite alien because it's completely new for both of you. Both of you in your charts have the head and the ajna open, but in together you have it defined.
Mhm.
So that's gonna feel like a complete new energy. You're gonna, you both feel certain when you are with each other.
Yeah,
Just like I described that you are uncertain normally, when you are with each other, you feel both certain.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. When we're not together, we're uncertain, but then when we're together, we're certain. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
And again, just like in case of Ash, look at this. So on yours, on yes, on your side, you have the 43 in Pluto. He has the 43 in Pluto. You have the 38 in Neptune. He has the 38 in Neptune. You have also the 38 in Uranus. He has the 38 as well. You have the 60 in Saturn. He has the 60 in Saturn. You have also the 41 in Saturn. He has the 41 in Saturn. They are identical. You have the 40 in Jupiter. He has the 40 in Jupiter.
So we're like the same person.
The further planets, the developmental planets, because the planets that are far away, the outer planets, are considered developmental. They are identical. The only thing that's different in your lives, let me check the notes. Yes, the notes are different. I'm going to explain. The only thing that's different in your lives are the people that come, that surround you.
Yeah, that's true.
And maybe the direction. He's also a 6-liner, so he also has the 3 phases, 30 years trial and error, going
He
on the
just turned
roof.
30 as well. He's just turned 30 in January.
Yeah, he just turned 30, so he's just moving on the roof. He's just moving, but he doesn't have the second line. He has the third line, which matches with the people who are around you. I just told you that you will be surrounded by third liners. He is a third liner. And it means that chaos never stops for him. Even so, for you, when you get on the roof, the chaos stops. You go into this hermit mode, you feel cut off. For him, it never stops. He will be on and off the roof.
Okay.
The trial and error, the learning through mistakes keeps on going for him all through his life.
Yeah, that makes sense. Does it say anything there about him making? I feel like he doesn't like to make decisions. He never makes decisions. He'll never make a decision. Doesn't like to set anything in stone, especially when it comes to me.
That's not self-teams. That's not self-team of the ego. That's not self-team of the identity center. Those are not feeling clear in his direction. That are not self-teams. Everything I talked with you and I showed you the wisdom, he's operating from the not self. And it's very, very often with men, because even though we see this as a patriarchal society, this society actually harms men much more than it harms us, because they're not allowed to be sensitive. They're not allowed to be uncertain. They're not allowed to be empaths. He is an empath, just like you. He
Yeah, I
can hear
know.
people's thoughts just like you. He
Yeah,
has the same. Exactly. I don't have to do a reading for him, because everything I told you about you, it's valid for him as well.
Okay.
But he does not see them. He is also a projector. He is also here to guide others. It's identical. But if he can't see that, and if he can't listen to his intuition, which, oh my God, men are conditioned to not trust intuition. I don't think I've met a man who's able to trust his intuition. If he can't trust his intuition, he literally can't make a decision, because both of you, your decision-making process is your intuition.
Yeah.
Whenever you try to make a decision from the place of the mind, because normally both of you have an open mind, you're going to make the decision as not self. As the conditioning from outside. The only way to make a decision as yourself is your intuition. I did try to tell to many men when I read their chart, shut your brain off. What's your body telling you? They can't do that.
Yeah.
There's a glitch. There's something that happens in them that I'm not letting go of the mind.
Yeah, it's the ego, isn't it? They don't want to let they try to use logic to do
make
something
sense,
that they can't.
to make sense of illogical things.
Yeah, this do you know it's funny we say that, because I always say to him, Miller, love is not logical. Stop trying to make it logical. It will never be logical. You love who you love, and that is it.
Yes, but they won't be able to see that.
No. They look for the pros and the cons and the uphills, and yeah.
For the measurement, because that's what the mind does best. It measures. Actually, we experience all the not self things because the mind connects to everything that's open in our chart. So how the mind works, the mind doesn't care who the student is. The mind cares about the lessons. What are we here to learn? And it goes, you don't have this. We have to get this as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Oh, look, that person is more confident than you. They have a defined ego, probably. Oh, look, that person is more confident than you. You have to fake it. You have to be confident like that person, because it constantly measures. It constantly measures and compares something with something else.
Yeah.
It's amazingly good at it. But what happens when we go into this human design, we learn about ourselves and we learn to make decisions using our authority, in your case, the spleen, and we learn to follow our strategy, in your case, waiting to be invited to give your advice, to give your guidance. You don't have to wait to be invited for everything. You don't have to be invited for a normal conversation. But when you want to give advice, you have to be invited for it.
Yeah.
Maybe actually ask, I have guidance for you in that. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
But when we try to experiment with this and we move from the mind that's trying to measure and compare us to everyone else, what happens is we align to ourselves and our own decision. And what's for us comes to us. It's no longer a struggle to get there. It doesn't mean that life is suddenly happy, but you meet the lessons that you have to meet. You meet the people that you have to meet, and you'll go through life learning what you have to learn. And the mind is finally free to give advice to others, because that's what it's for. It's an outer authority. It's the authority I use right now to read your chart. My mind learned a bunch of stuff, and because it learned a bunch of stuff, it's able to use its authority to give advice to you.
Yeah.
I can't do that for myself. I have to trust my body when I make decisions for myself. I can't trust what I know about design. I still have to trust in my case, it's my sacral. I have to trust my gut to tell me what's right for me and what's wrong for me.
Right.
This is pretty much why I love the system, because it makes it all very, very simple.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know. It's just very difficult, isn't it? All this twin flame stuff. It's life. It's just all a bit. And I feel like he's in a bit of a shit place right now, but I can't keep doing anything for him anymore. Does that make sense?
I know it does. I'm gonna stop the recording and I'm gonna post it as it is, and we can talk about twin flames and anything. Yeah, I know it's crazy, it's weird.
I feel
I'm-
like I've given up with him.
You don't know how many times I felt like I gave up.
I feel like he came back, obviously we broke up, and then he came back after 5 weeks and sent me a song, and he's just been hot and cold with me since, and I just can't take being let down by him anymore.
Yeah, what happens to me, it's a very different pattern because I'm married. He's in Australia. I don't even know how all this started. It definitely was against my will. I don't, even if he were to come in and I don't know, promise me the world and everything, I don't think I would leave my marriage. I'm pretty sure I married my soulmate and I unwillingly stumbled upon my twin flame. Or but what he does is keep putting me up on a pedestal, then pulling it from under my feet, and then coming in and apologize.
Oh, well, I got sorry on Monday actually, so they must be apologizing right now.
I got so many apologies that at some point I said, I'm done. I don't care if you apologize. I don't care.
Mine doesn't do anything really bad to me. He's not a bad guy. He's never called me a name. He's never been abusive. He just cannot handle his emotions. And I need clear direction. When I need to know what you want. And I know what you want, but I need you to tell me. Sorry, I'm having a wee and holding it in.
Mine is not a bad guy either. He helped me through everything. We worked together for a long time. And no, he doesn't call me names. He's not toxic or something.
Yeah, mine is.
I don't think I don't think a twin flame connection can be actually toxic. The fact that it does pull triggers, yes, it pulls triggers. We're not photons. We all have our shadow aspects, and we're all slightly toxic. But he just does things unconsciously that are annoying.
Their just existence irritates you. Like, you fucking annoy me and I'm not dealing with it, so fuck off. And then they fuck off, and then you're like, oh, come back. Come back.
Besides doing human design readings, I run a community where I teach people to go deeper in their design. Actually, because you had this reading with me, you're gonna get an invite to the community and 30 days free inside, just in case you have any questions coming up after the reading. I'm not gonna ask you now if you have any questions, because I know it's a overwhelming amount of information that will need a couple of days to settle and to have questions.
Yeah, because today, to be honest with you, today is quite a big day in my connection with him, because my friend she's been, I don't know if you saw in the group chat, I sent screenshots of my friend. Well, she sent him an 8-minute long voice note yesterday, and because she can tell, like, I've had enough, and she loves us together so much. Like, she's been there through our relationship quite a lot, actually, and she's whatever anyway. And she sent him a voice note. It's 8 minutes long, and she just said to him, you don't do something and you love her, you're going to lose her, because I'm telling you now, mate, she's gone. She loves you, but she's gone because she's not dealing with it anymore. She's not. And she was busy last night. She was at work, and then she went to bed. So she said, oh, get back to me tomorrow with a reply. And then he didn't say anything, and he'd listened to it. So she messaged him this morning. She said, I'm guessing you haven't got anything to say. He says, no, I have got something to say. But she even said in the message, if you're done and you're over it and you don't want to do with it, then just ignore it. So obviously he's got something to say, and I think he wants to be with me, but he just ain't got all his eggs in a row. He ain't got all his ducks in a row. He needs this. In his head, he thinks I need this, 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 and this before I can give her this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you don't need that. You just
Yeah.
need to be emotionally available for me and
Yeah.
consistent and communicate. It's not a lot to ask for.
Yeah.
But I'm done. Like, this is the first time I've actually ever felt like I do not want to sit there and worry about why he's ignored me today. What's going on? I don't want to ever feel like I'm being ignored by him again. I'm so done with it. So done with it.
Oh, I have the opposite issue. I told the group at one point that I think I'm the runner. I sometimes ignore him because I literally don't know how to react to shit he says. It's completely unconscious. It's completely unfiltered. Like I said, there's no romantic connection actually between us. Nothing. But he would spew shit that are super romantic. I shared in the group a video of him that he posted in our group. He didn't tell it to me. He made it public. It was a live he did in the group. And he said, and he literally changed his whole demeanor and his whole tone, that the only thing missing was me.
Yeah.
Dude, what? What am I supposed to do with that information? What am I supposed to read with that information? And
well, it's mutual for us too, like the feelings, the sexual feelings. We've had a relationship, we've had sex, we've been with each other, we've like, I've been to see him 4 times, like we've spent 2 weeks together, block and stuff like that. It's not like I'm like, come back, I want you. It's not like that. It's like, dude, if you don't speak about how you feel, you're gonna lose me, because I'm not staying around. You don't just get access to me because you're not sure. Off you go. Not having your cake and eating it. Off you go.
I told him, look, I just need, because when I said the first time what I read into the connection, oh, and by the way, your friend that feels you and likes you and everything, yeah, there's 5 people that sense our connection to the point where if I'm unwell, these people, couple of them, every time couple of them show up out of nowhere and ask me, hi, honey, how are you? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Why do you ask? How's Mark? Wait, what? How? How do you sense that? How does that happen? And
my friend said she feels it. She said, I feel you too. She said, I feel when you're not good or something's going on. She said,
yes.
She said, she's a proper like black and white person, like realist, and she thinks it's all heebie-jeebies or whatever. But she says, I don't know, Amber, I've never seen a connection like you two ever in my life. She's 35 years old and I've never seen love like I see it between you two.
I had my coach months before I started coaching with her. She actually offered to coach us, me and Mark, together because she senses a connection. What? What? Yeah, it's been all over the place. And I told him, look, I don't need anything from you. I just need you to be aware of the stuff that's coming out of your mouth.
Do you not like him like that? Do you not fancy him or romantic feel for him?
Honestly, no. He's so the opposite of my type. So the opposite. And I think I am the opposite of his type as well.
So why are you twin flames then? I don't get it.
I'm not even sure if it's twin flame or if it's just soul contract. I've done a past life regression to figure out what's with this connection. And yeah, in the past life regression, I was a man somewhere in ancient Middle East, like some Sumeria, something there. It was very detailed. It was super detailed. I was there. It was 100% real. And I was a single dad. And my father had this very imposing attitude that I have to remarry, with the attitude that these children need a mother. I had 2 children. And in the regression, I went to visit the shrine. It wasn't a tomb. It looked like a sort of altar with some personal belongings of my wife. And when I touched those personal belongings, I instantly recognized that it was him. Like a rush of emotions. And I instantly recognized that my dead wife in that life was Mark. And then the practitioner that regressed me told me that she's calling in spirit guides. And when the spirit guides showed up, I asked, is this Mark?
Yeah.
And I received confirmation that yes, it is. And he died in that life. My wife died in childbirth. Coincidence? His biggest fear is having children. He's sterile. He can't have children, doesn't want to have children. But his biggest fear is death by pregnancy.
Wow. That's a bizarre fear to have if you're not going to have kids, isn't it?
Yes, as a man. It's a very bizarre fear to have as a man.
Wow. Some kind of heebie-jeebie, weedy-weeby going on there, isn't there? Trying to make sense of it.
When I got out of that regression, I was shown sort of like a carousel of moving pictures, but I don't know how many they were because I just saw them moving fast. But we were definitely lifetimes we had together. So it's definitely a repeating pattern for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And even though he's into human design, that's how we met. We both work together on human design. He works on human design on business. I work on human design and all kinds of relationships, from parenting to people together, to sexual, to everything. And that's how we met. We work together on human design. He does my technical parts and I do the work, the readings.
Okay.
So even though he's spiritual and everything, I never told him about the regression till today. Today, I told him all about the regression. I sent him a long freaking email and I was like, I don't need anything. I don't want a romantic connection. I don't want anything from you. I just need you to acknowledge that there is something that we both can't explain.
Okay.
And also, for the biggest part, at least towards the last couple of months, all I've been trying to do is literally push him away, make him uncomfortable with my feelings. I shared my feelings to make him uncomfortable. Not for one moment did I hope that he was going to go, yeah, I feel the same. Nope. I was trying to get him to say, that's fucked up. I never asked for this. Please leave me alone. He never did.
So it didn't work then?
Huh?
So it didn't work then? Your grand plan?
No, he never did. And I actually asked him in the email, why? Because he did tell me before that he has a pattern. When somebody confesses their feelings for him, he runs for the hills. So I said, okay, I confess my feeling for him. He's going to run for the hills. I'm free of this guy. Done. Easy. Nope. No.
They don't go. Listen, they don't go. It doesn't matter what you do. They don't go. I'm not trying to get rid of him, but I'm like, but I just know deep down in my heart and in my gut, like I know that guy's going nowhere. He might do his stupid bullshit right now, but he's not going anywhere. He's not because I'm like, please don't leave me, because it's just like, from there, it's just going, nope, he's not going. Even though I'm like, I don't even know what I want anymore.
Mhm. Yeah, I fully get that.
I don't even know how it looks for us to move forward, because obviously when you break up and you have a relationship breakdown and then you have time apart, it's never going to go back to how it was, obviously, because it didn't work. So, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know how to, I'm scared. I think almost sometimes I'm the runner with him, because I always try to leave, but I come back, but I leave, but I come back. And he never goes. The only time he's ever gone is once he thought with me in November, but he still was there every single day, talking to me all day, every day. He never left.
Same.
Never left.
Last fight, let's say, when I actually did everything. I had to push him away. Told him the most uncomfortable things that I ran through my mind about our connection. I spewed everything out. And yeah, I did get him to the point that I'm tired of all this drama. We need a break. And I was like, yes, got it. He said it, he called it, that's it. And I honestly answered, done. And I deleted all the conversation, all our 10 months constant conversation. It was never hi or bye, never. We were constantly conversating. Like he was waking up at 3 a.m, writing to me and going back to sleep, honestly. You can't say that's a normal business partnership when the first person you message in the morning is your business partner. The last thing you message in the night is your business partner. You wake up in the middle of the night, you message your business partner. Yeah, that's not normal.
That doesn't happen, no. Not unless you're like closing like a big deal or something and like there's loads of money at stake, then no.
It's not lost on money at stake at all.
That's what I'm saying. Like, unless there's a real urgent need to do that, no, it's not normal.
And it was never business.
It was what? Can you still see me?
Yes, it was never business. That's the weird part. Business happened when we had scheduled meetings. The constant communication was never business.
No, sorry, I'm just replying to somebody.
It was just our inner growth, our aha moments, sharing our experiences, sharing everything. And yeah, I told you, I triggered him. I got him to push back. I got him to say done. I was done. I deleted everything. I said, haha, I'm free, done. And I got this a bit of an angry, dark feminine stepping in, blah, blah, blah. I was fine. I was enjoying it, having fun with it. And then all of a sudden, I get this anxiety and I'm worried about him. Sure enough, a friend of mine who always senses it comes in and asks me, how are you, darling? How are things going? How did you know I'm not okay?
Yeah, how did you know? How did you know?
And I told her, I don't know why, but I'm actually worried about him. I don't know why.
No, I get like that. I swear to God, Daria. So I'll be sat there and I text him. I don't know if I put it in the group chat. I messaged him. We hadn't spoken I'd not replied to his message for about 12 days. I just left him there. I didn't want to talk to him. He annoyed me a little bit. So I just ignored his message. I read it and just was like, I'll respond to you when I want to respond to you. You want to be anyway. And I just felt this urgent need to just message him. And I just texted him and said, look, I love you unconditionally. And I don't know what you're going through right now, but I just feel like you need to hear you are good enough and you're doing well. And he literally texted back. He said, oh my God. He said, I swear to God, as soon as I woke up this morning, I was going to text you. Then I was going to text you at 10 o'clock this morning. He said, how are we still doing this? I feel him all the time. He's not even in the same country as me.
Same.
And I feel him. We don't speak for weeks. Like, we haven't spoke for 5 weeks. And as soon as we started speaking to each other within a couple of hours, we say the same thing at the same time. It's like weird. I don't know.
I resisted. I didn't message him. Exactly the same. It passed about 10, 12 days since that fight, since that thing. I didn't message him. It was all good. And I felt this sudden worry. I resisted. I noticed it. I said, okay, I'm worried about Mark. Fine. I'm gonna see what shows up. In the morning, I wake up with an email from him. And in the email, he said that since we stopped talking, he sees his patterns loud and clear. I don't know what patterns he's talking about, but apparently he sees them loud and clear.
Okay.
And that the break is still needed, that we trigger each other. And I said, okay, I agree. But since then, he hasn't stopped talking.
No, they don't. They don't like it. They don't like to be taught. They're okay if they just walk away and don't speak to you. But if you set a boundary and you go, right, no, done, they're like, no, I'm going to talk. And you're like, no, you're not. Go on. Bye.
And we kept talking pretty much formal emails for the last 3 days.
But if you don't want to talk to him and it's not about work, just don't reply.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm doing. I'm replying strictly about work. Like, if, for example,
he's still going.
For example, he asked in a very specific way, can I have the course, blah, 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 that course, blah, 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 just in case I lose my access to you later on. Obviously, I would go like, what, lose your access to me? That sounds very specific, but very weird.
Yeah, I saw that. And then he was like, oh, actually, it don't matter. And it's like, well, dude, what are you doing? Like, make your mind up.
Yeah. And I just send it, okay. I sent the link to the course. You can download it from here. Bye. Kept coming to the point where he pushed me to recreate my website. And I was like, we have to meet for that. We just agreed that we need a break. We have to spend time together to do that.
Mm-hmm. Do you have FaceTimes with him?
I used to have them daily, and I've been avoiding him for 2 months.
Okay. Right. Yeah, you may be, excuse me, sorry, maybe you are the runner.
And well, I was the man in the other life.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe you are the masculine.
And
I think me and my twin swap one time. Sometimes I'm the masculine, sometimes he's the feminine, sometimes I'm the feminine. I think more predominantly I'm the feminine, and more predominantly he's the masculine. But at first I think I was the masculine because I used to run off all the time because I was scared. And then when I really, really fell deeply in love with him, and I think when he really fell deeply in love with me, then he got scared. So we just take it in turns. But we always come back. We always come back to talking. And I just think it should be the easiest thing in the world to move and leave a relationship when you're not in the same place. You know what I mean?
We've never been in the same place.
It doesn't seem to work like that. And I almost feel like I said to God the other night, right? I swear to God, I was laid there and I said, I didn't do this, right? Whoever fucking did this for my soul was not me. I didn't do this, so pack it in and I'm not dealing with it.
I can't even say that because I'm not sure. Because in that previous life, when I was at that shrine, I basically saw the man version of myself saying, I'll always be there for you in this life and the next ones. And the spirit guide told me this is when you promised. So I might have made a soul contract at that time.
Right, okay. I just want to, right, I swear to God, when I decide to, I've done it a few times over the past few weeks, I'm right now, I'm not dealing with it anymore, that's it, cutting off. I get bombarded with things like everything on my phone is German, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that. I'm like, the other day I was training with a girl at the gym. I've only met her once before because she knows my usual training partner. And I don't know, she was on the treadmill as I was walking past and I just went, do you want to come train legs? And she was like, yeah. Anyway, her birthday is exactly the same birthday as his. Right?
Yeah.
And not only that, the 2 days before that, I saw his ex-girlfriend at the gym. I've only ever seen her once before in my life and I've known her years. And I started both times I've seen her is at my gym. The first time was like 2 months ago, and it was just before he came in. It was a few days before he decided to come in. And then the other day again. And I was like, fuck off. Fuck off.
I'm the same. Yeah. I the day that we had the fight 2 weeks ago, I said I'm done, nothing. Okay. Completely done. I go to with my daughter at the playground, and they're opening a new shop, and they were installing I don't know, the light feature above the shop. Yeah, it's Mark's Butchers. Okay.
It's annoying. What star sign are you?
I'm a Leo, and both of them are Gemini.
I have Leo moon.
Mark is May Gemini, and my husband is June Gemini.
My daughter's a May Gemini.
And I've been spiritual all my life. I'm pretty sure I married the right person, because I dreamt my wedding since I was 8 with a specific person. I never saw his face, but it's definitely not somebody else.
Yeah. You're very confused, aren't you?
I'm not. That's the thing. I would not leave my husband, and my husband knows about the connection.
No, I know you would. I'm not saying you'd leave him. I just think this has confused you. You just said from being 8 years old, you've dreamt your wedding. You didn't dream somebody to come in and this to happen. So you're like, hang on a minute. I've planned my whole life out. This is who I'm meant to be with. But then this person is just confusing the fucking shit out of me. I don't understand what I'm meant to do, because I'm happy. I'm happy.
Exactly. I'm happy. I'm fine. I don't want anything from him. Why the fuck is this happening?
Yeah, fuck off.
Yes. And I talked with my husband because he was very protective of my connection with Mark. There was a lady who was trying to get me to work with her and to ditch Mark. She basically told me, you're never going to be successful. Mark is a child, blah, blah, blah. He's 10 years older than me, so not a child in that sense, in the sense that he's immature. And my husband said, no, you can tell her to fuck right off. He's helped you a lot more.
Should tell her to fuck right off.
You need his support more than what she can offer you. And I instantly told him, are you aware that you're supporting a relationship, a working relationship between me and a man, and that feelings and attractions might get involved? And my husband responded, I would be surprised if it didn't happen already. I can clearly see you're passionate about your work. I can clearly see he sees you. I can clearly see that you enjoy talking with each other. And I'm not stupid. I can see that there's a connection. I can see, I would be surprised if sparks didn't happen already. But if I put myself against him, I'm just a jealous ape that would force you to choose him. I might as well acknowledge that he supports you and support you in other ways that I can.
And he's not in the same country either, so he hasn't got that imminent threat on his doorstep. It is just through the phone.
Yes, exactly. And he said exactly that. He said that he's there, you're here, I'm here with you. He's gonna find somebody else, which he did. And he said this is gonna happen normally. And I was very actually happy that he notices that I don't have to tell him, that I don't have to keep it a secret for him, because it didn't felt right.
Has anybody ever told you, Daria, that you've got a very calm, you're very calming?
Really?
Yeah, I find you calming.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mark told me I'm nurturing.
Yeah, you are. I just feel like I was very, obviously, because everything that's gone on, like the 8-minute voice note yesterday and just the whole today, and I got on the phone with you, and then we did this, and then since we got on the phone and we're talking, my anxieties have like that. I was like that, and now I'm like,
That's nice to hear. Very nice to hear.
Yeah, it's nice to feel. Trust me.
And yeah, now I just told him that I actually asked him, why are you staying? You told me that your usual trait is to run for the hills. Run for the hills. What's stopping you?
Do you think he thinks you're testing him?
Hmm?
Do you think he might feel like you're testing him?
I don't care at this point.
You're like, nope, no, fuck off.
I don't care at this point. I know he might take a long time to answer because it will be something that he will have to look within to give
Yeah.
an answer.
Yeah,
But I don't care at this point.
yeah, you're done with it, aren't you?
If there's a lesson to learn, if there's a cycle to end, if there's something to happen, I need it to happen.
Yeah. Maybe the lesson to learn is that you are happy. You're happy and you're comfortable, and you know, because you said a few times, I love my husband and I'm happy. Maybe subconsciously, or you was a bit before he came in, like, and now you know that you are on the right path. And
I couldn't hear you. Something was buzzing really hard. I think it was the internet connection.
Okay, I was just saying, maybe your lesson was not lesson, but like maybe you just needed to be shown that you are on the right path and you are happy with where you are, and you needed to be shown that. And this guy has almost pushed you into a corner that's made you think, no, you're fighting it. Like, no, I'm happy. I don't need anything else. I'm happy.
Yeah, but in that, then why do these freaking coincidences keep happening? Like you're talking about, like, why do they keep happening? And why are we playing the same cycle over and over again? I want it either clear, okay, we have something to learn, we're working together to learn that, whatever that is, or we learned it and done.
They're doing it again.
Wait, I'm here.
I can hear you.
Okay. So that's pretty much the only thing I need. Oh, and yeah, the only thing he did call me in that fight that we had 12 days ago was delusional.
Did you say 12 days ago?
Roughly, yeah. We're on the 24th. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny that, because I didn't speak to Miller for 12 days. It's a thing. That usually lasts about 12 days.
This is the longest we've been like this, because before the longest we haven't spoke was like 5 days. And
do you know what? 4 is a thing for us. So it's like we didn't speak for 4 weeks. We didn't see each other for 4 months. And then this time when we had a big separation, because we've never gone longer than, it was 4 weeks and 4 days. Every time it's 4 weeks and 4 days. It's the longest we've ever gone, and it's happened twice. And I'm like, 4-4, it's just our number, 4-4. Then my locker at the gym that I didn't choose is 4-4, and I see 4s everywhere. Like, it's 12:49 now.
yeah, numbers show up for me as well.
I don't really pay much attention to them. I try and ignore stuff. I try and ignore it.
I try to ignore it, but sometimes it gets in my face. Like if I try to ignore it, it shows up more.
Yeah, same. It's terrible, isn't it? It's terrible. And like, I asked for a sign, and to the point where, I don't know if you saw it in the group, my sister's uncle-in-law and was at her house babysitting, and he ended up coming around. He never comes around. We had a big chat about everything that was going on within his life. Then we talked about me and my situation, and I told him what I was going to do, and then he was like, give him another chance. And literally that morning I said, I need a big fuck off sign, like it needs to tell me it's a sign. And he said, make it right. And then he looked at me before he went, this is your sign.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And I'm like, Okay, I hear you. I see it.
Yeah, many times I just go, okay, shut up.
Yeah, leave me. Do you know what? I'll just put it into the group chat here. Fuck off. I'll put Daria, fuck off. That's our thing. Fuck off.
Yeah,
Daria,
yeah, yeah. And
I'm gonna literally have to go because my friend's coming around in about 10 minutes.
me too, because I have to pick up my kids in 10 minutes.
Okay, yeah, okay, right. But it was lovely to talk to you. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it.
I will send you the
Yeah,
recording and I will send you the invite in the community later on.
thank you so much. It was so nice to meet you.
Same here.
Mwah, see you later.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.